Independent and dependent clauses. What's the difference? By Piper and Zoe. A clause is a group of words with a subject-predicate set and can also be referred to as a group of phrases. The difference between a clause and a phrase is a phrase is a group of words with no subject-predicate set. So in our two examples, you can see in the clause it has a subject-predicate set of reindeer is, while the phrase lacks a subject-predicate set. There are two different types of clauses, independent and dependent clauses. Only independent clauses complete a thought. A dependent clause needs an independent clause to complete the thought and make the sentence correct. An independent clause has a subject-predicate set and completes a thought. Any sentence that is written correctly has at least one independent clause. So we can see on our example, our subject-predicate set is Santa was, and it completes a thought. So for our examples, the italicized words are going to be the subject, and the underlined words are going to be the verb. So we have Santa Claus jumped, the new reindeer was nervous, Santa has a list, and Santa will check his list. Where our subject-predicate sets are Santa Claus jumped, reindeer was, Santa has, and Santa will check. All of them have that subject-predicate set, and all of them complete a thought. A dependent clause has a subject-predicate set, but a dependent clause does not complete a thought. These clauses commonly start with subordinating conjunctions or relative pronouns. So we can see in our example that we have the subject-predicate set, Santa is, but it does not complete a thought as it never answers what will happen if Santa is hungry. A dependent clause on its own is a sentence fragment. So a couple common examples are because it's there and because it was delicious. So again, italicized words are going to be the subject, and underlined words are going to be the verbs, and here are examples. If Santa did, when the reindeer was, that Mrs. Claus was, and because the cookie is. Again, they have subject-predicate sets, Santa did, reindeer was, Mrs. Claus was, and cookie is, but they don't complete a thought, and you need to add more to a sentence to make it readable. Combining independent and dependent clauses can make it harder to identify them. And when you combine the two clauses, they need to follow certain punctuation rules. So if you have two independent clauses, you need to either separate them with a comma and a coordinating conjunction, or a semicolon. Or if you have an independent and dependent clause, you can just have them follow each other, independent, then dependent. Or if you have the dependent clause, then the independent, you need to separate them with a comma. Again, italicized words are going to be the subject, and underlined words are going to be the verbs. So we have an example. Although the kid had been on Santa's naughty list, Santa brought him gifts. Both of them have the subject-predicate set, kid had and Santa brought, but only one part of the sentence finishes a thought. So Santa brought him gifts is the only part of the sentence that finishes a thought. Without adding that on, although the kid had been on Santa's naughty list, would not make it a complete sentence. So another example. The restaurant baked Santa-themed cakes, but Johnny was not interested. So it has two independent clauses and is being separated by a coordinating conjunction. You can separate the restaurant baked Santa-themed cakes, and you can separate that from Johnny was not interested, and take out the but, and you can have two independent clauses. You can also put them together with the coordinating conjunction. So here are a couple tricks. Some common words dependent sentences to start with is after, although, as, because, before, when, and dependent sentences commonly start with relative pronouns. To finish off this, we have a pop quiz. Is this an independent or dependent clause? The reindeer hopped in the sleigh. What type of punctuation goes between two independent clauses? Does a dependent clause have a subject-predicate set? And last but not least, is this an independent or a dependent clause? No, Bell.